This is the Amp Hour Podcast. Recorded March 12th, 2013. Episode 136. Radular, Rental, Ranting.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Chris Gamble's Analog Life.
What did you just call me before?
Dr. Jones?
I ain't no stinking doctor. I ain't got no PhD.
We know. We know, Dave. It's an honorary title, of course, for when you finally give that
right,
that keynote.
one of those honorary degrees.
Yes,
right,
yes.
Yeah. Right,
Maybe
maybe
someday.
when I'm, when I've got a grey beard or someone who will give me an honourary doctorate.
Yeah, right. I always wonder about that. Like, do you get to, put that, like you're filling out forms online or whatever, it's like, maybe I'll just put doctor this time. I mean, obviously people could put it anyways, but...
No, you're not allowed to. There are very specific rules behind that.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. And I don't believe you're allowed to.
Yeah, because there's other weird rules about that kind of stuff, too. Isn't it like something like you're technically not even supposed to put doctor if you're a PhD, you're supposed to put comma PhD or something weird like that? No,
you can. That's the rule with the honorary PhD. You're allowed to put... But you're not allowed to call yourself Dr. David Jones. You're allowed to put David Jones, PhD on, or whatever the classification is for your honorary degree. But you're not allowed to call yourself doctor. But as far as a PhD is concerned, yes, I believe in most countries you can call yourself doctor.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like, because a doctor's a freaking doctor you go see when your arm's fallen off.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah,
and it does vary country to country. I think we've talked about that before with professional engineering, right? Because with how you can refer to yourself as an engineer, that varies country to country as well. And and there's different silliness.
Like in I think it's India. Don't quote me, but before the Amp Hour stuff, I had my website and my articles and everyone. I used to get tons of email as well, and everyone from India would always call me Professor. They'd always call me. They'd always assume I'm a professor. I don't know what sort of
like an honorary title of teacher.
Yeah, like an honorary, or they just they assume. If you're a because I'm teaching, I'm putting stuff on the web, so they think of me as a teacher, so they call me Professor, or they call me Prof.
Right,
always says Prof. Mr. Prof. Jones, or something weird like that.
Yeah.
And it's like I never sort of figured out the reason behind that. So if anyone from India, I think it's India, knows, please let me know.
Yeah. Well, maybe
why
it's...
I was called Prof all the time.
Maybe the cultural difference is that prof is actually like a swear word over there. You prof,
right.
Prof of a prof. That would be funny.
Could be. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yes, all those idiosyncrasies. But so do you agree with me that you shouldn't call yourself doctor unless you're an actual medical doctor?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Yep. And another thing you shouldn't do? You shouldn't put Chris Gamble, say I was dumb enough to get an MBA, Chris Gamble, comma, MBA, or comma, PE, I guess sometimes you have to do for signatures, but people that put MBA after your name, come on. What are we really doing here? Sign your email with your name.
They're having a wank.
Yeah,
just like getting an MBA to begin with, you're having a wank.
Yeah, or when, I think it was, I forget what it was. It was some other academic thing. I saw there was 4 sets of abbreviations after their name. It's just
right.
Chris Gamble, SAT. I took a test as well. Bring on the hate mail. Good thing. Yep. Good thing no MBA is probably listening to this, right? Maybe 1 or 2. Oh, well.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Please stick up your hand if you're brave enough. To stick up your hand and say, yeah, I got a MBA or a PhD.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, yeah. Have we talked about this before? That some people get a bit angsty where if you work at a company where they don't allow titles on your business card.
Oh.
Like they don't allow you to put they don't allow you to put your academic titles on your business cards. Some companies are like that. I've worked at companies like that, and I've had colleagues who go, "I spent 6 years getting my master's degree. God damn it!" And why can't I put my master's on there, my MSc or
ME.
whatever, and they get really irate over it. They spend all this time studying and they can't put it on their business card. Well. Tough titties, I guess.
Yeah.
If
The
you don't
business
like
card
the company,
says it all.
leave.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, then there's.
Goodness.
It can get it does get silly, but that's just mostly his ego, right? I mean, that kind of stuff is ego to show it off like that as a forward facing thing. If people were actually curious, they'd go stalk on LinkedIn like we all do, right? I mean,
right? Okay, yeah.
Good old LinkedIn stalking.
And you'll it's all the rage. Apparently, it's like if you don't have a LinkedIn profile in the US now, you won't get a job, or so the rumor goes. You know, apparently that's HR's job now is to search your LinkedIn profile.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, I think they're the whole hiring manager side of things. It's like it's not just crawling LinkedIn, but also sometimes Facebook or Google or anything else. And I think you and I got Google covered okay, but it's I don't know. LinkedIn is it's messy. It gets real messy. But the interesting thing with LinkedIn is just like the whole business model is based on backdoor access to that, right? I mean, you pay $500 a year as a recruiter.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah, that's what
really?
That's where they make all their money.
Know that.
You can buy a membership and you can get access to anything. And I've seen job hunting guides about that before too.
Well, but what extra stuff can you get if people don't put... Like, there's no hidden stuff on a profile.
No, but some profiles
really?
You can't see. Sometimes you can't access their information. Basically, there's some ways you can get like blanket coverage to anything, and then there's like advanced search algorithms. I didn't
know that. The bastards.
Yeah. That's so when people get like recruiting calls about this stuff, they can see everything. I mean, it's just
right. Okay, so they're paying big bucks and they think they're getting secret squirrel access to everyone's lives, No,
they are. I mean, like anything you put on there, someone can see.
Assuming that it's correct, assuming it's real, what you put on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the social proof side of things hopefully maintains that people won't lie on there.
Well, that's the idea, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, you could lie on a resume, too, if you really wanted. Eventually, you're going to be found out.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't need jobs right now, so...
No, we don't.
No.
Yeah. You're still happy at your 9 to 5?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's still going good. I like it.
That's the correct answer. Well done. They could be listening.
They could be.
Do they even know that you do the show? Does anyone at your job know that you
It's been interesting as I go along. It's been harder to conceal that kind of thing at my last job. I didn't really tell anyone. But... it's. Right. I think it's smart to talk about it. I mean, like when I interviewed at a couple different companies, I talked about it all of them because the other thing too, and interestingly, I talked to a couple companies, and one of them said, "Yeah, we don't want you to do that anymore." I'm like, "Well, that's not cool."
Well, yeah, screw you.
And and then they kind of came back and they said,
Why?
"Well, because
did they give a reason?"
No, they just focus on work and that kind of thing. And they came back and said, "Well, as long as it didn't take up too much time." Well, interestingly, I talked to them later, and I forget what it was. The interaction that was like basically one employee talking to another saying, what are you doing spending this time outside of work doing that kind of thing? It was basically like it like showed like no, this would have definitely been a problem if I had taken that job.
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't know. It's been weird for that kind of stuff. It's just
okay.
Wouldn't think it'd affect you, but it can.
Interesting.
I wouldn't think if cooking was a hobby if, someone would be like, well, you're spending too much time cooking.
Right, okay.
But, yeah.
Hey, well, no. Some companies I've interviewed that's a problem.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not. Come on, I'm sure I've mentioned this on here, but what's the bloody name of the company? The guy with the most number of patents in the world.
Oh, Nathan Myhrvold in Intellectual Ventures?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm having a brain fart here. People are probably screaming at their speakers right now.
Keep willing, and Dave will get it eventually, folks. Clap your hands.
I do have these brain farts occasionally, and
he is getting older, folks.
Anyway, I am. They do the print technology, and they've got like 10 million variations of the one patent, and he's got like 2,000 patents.
I think I know what you're talking about, but
yeah,
anyways,
right.
so...
Anyway, I went for a job there. They're super secretive, right? And this is before the blog, right? But I had my websites and everything else, so all that stuff was on there, on my resume, of course, and I get in there for the interview, and all the technical guys love me, right? They'd all sign me off, they'd tick, I went through the 2 or 3 technical interviews, and they're fine. So then I went to meet the second guy there. It was completely flat structure. There's one guy and then everyone else, but apparently he had like a cohort or something. So I met with him, and, he's just looks at my resume and goes and shakes his head, and I'm going, what? And he didn't talk, wouldn't, one of those ones who just doesn't want to talk to you and, psychs you out and everything. So I said, look, is it the things I do outside of work? And he sort of gives a little sort of nod, and I go, well, what are the limits, What if I was to write a book about gardening outside of work? Would that be okay? And he shook his head.
He didn't say anything at this entire point.
Well, no. Basically, didn't say anything. He was just trying to, trying to
sign the treatment, cold shoulder.
Intimidate me. And,
I've never had that.
Sort of stuff, which doesn't.
That's a dick move.
Yeah, I know it's a bad move. But what an asshole! It's like, they would not. They were that paranoid. They would not let me write a book about, or do any, or have a blog to do with bloody gardening or something, as you said, or cooking.
Yeah.
Even though it's got nothing to do with the industry.
Just like at the end of the interview, you go, well, I was going to ask you about what you like doing outside of work, but we already know you don't like anything, so see you later.
Well, what a bunch of dicks
at
that point.
Yeah. You need that. I think people need that enrichment outside of work. I don't care what it is. You just need something outside of work because you get inspiration from that, right? If you keep focusing on the same problem every day, man, you're never going to get it right. You need people. There are no original ideas. You pull inspiration from other things, and then you say you're a biologist. You'll look at a butterfly and be like, "Oh, I could use this. I can integrate some kind of straw structure to suck up the nectar." I don't know. Yeah, it's
Silverbrook.
I don't know if I've heard of that.
Silverbrook. Kia Silverbrook is the guy's name.
Okay.
4,573 patents. Supposedly, which he just had to all sign over. We've talked about this before. Everyone, all his investors got pissed off, and they finally gave him the flick after a decade and said, "Look, piss off, and we're taking all your patents too. By the way, up the arse, get out."
Yikes!
And so anyway, that was the company. By the way, folks.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy, man. Well, and so speaking of secrecy, I had posted a question about bombs, bill of materials, right? Because, I get sensitive about this stuff too. It's not just like, I don't obviously talk about work on here, like, specifically, and I wouldn't. I mean, like, that's just something I wouldn't do. But I get kind of antsy too, even with like vendors and like distributors and stuff like that. Some
asking for your bomb.
Yeah. I mean, like, did you used to do that?
I had a phone call from Element 14 the other day.
Oh, yeah?
They want me to get an account with them. Oh, you want to sign up for a 30-day credit account? Oh, no, not really happy with my credit card, but it's of benefit to you, and we can send us your bombs, and we'll. We'll quote for you. We got a competitive quote system. Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, like, some of it, like, some of the times I'm like, well, what's the big deal, right? I mean, like, I already have, anyone I'm dealing with on a professional basis, I usually have some kind of NDA with them, like, on some level. And so it's like, and they always remind me of that, and it's true, right? I mean, it is. It's like, well, yeah, I could tell you anything, but it's, at the same time, I also interact with people on a daily basis, and I know what they say to me based on other companies. Just like, well, it's just like, it's just like,
screw the end.
Well, it's not even an NDA. It's just like kind of like generic stuff. Like, oh, well, I was doing this thing at work the other day. And it's like, well, I know it's a company down the road probably. And it's just like, it's just a matter of how much you want to have out there versus how much you want to have back. I mean, like, I don't know. It's...
Well, I think for a bomb, I mean, there's no fear of giving somebody your bomb in confidence if that's going to help your, if that's going to help your procurement or whatever, if that's going to help your job, right? It's maybe different, for example, like open source hardware, right? Big deal, right? You can do all your open... I virtually never see anyone do this, right? And I don't do it myself, and there's a reason for it, right? You develop your open source hardware product, you publish everything, right, including your BOM, but it's the simple version of your BOM, right? I've got a version of the BOM which I release to the public, put on the website, right, which just has, just has the description and op-amp, right, and tells you the part number, But then I've got a more extensive BOM in the background, which is my, secret, which has all the vendors that I get them from links. And the vendor prices and the alternatives and, all that stuff, which takes 90% of that's all your hard work.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's
the
sort of
one
stuff,
click kind of like I want to order 100 boards at once versus versus someone else, ordering 100 for them and then you're out of parts, because you're using the same links, like that.
Exactly. It saves somebody months of work to do all that and find all the prices and find the suppliers and find the alternatives and all, and if you give that away, well.
Oh, you're even saying from like a competitive
then somebody can
standpoint.
just push a button.
So you're doing
from a competitive standpoint.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting because we've talked before about the, like where you draw that line in open source hardware, right? Some people do it at the schematic. There's an old article I actually found about Raspberry Pi where they actually drew the line based on, trying to maintain vendor relationships because they were getting, upfront pricing and stuff like that. So they only did the schematic at first
of course.
versus the whole, the Gerbers and everything. And it's like, like that is just kind of how they got through it. We grumbled about it, obviously, when we first found out about it. But at the same time, they obviously how big they've gotten. It almost seems like a necessity, right? I mean, like because you have to negotiate deals. There is the business side on the back end.
Well. And that's the thing with open source hardware. Yes, you release all the information so that people can hack it themselves. And if they want, they can go into competition with you, right? It's not good karma to go into direct competition with the original designer if they're already in the business. That's one of my, rules of unwritten rules in quote marks of open source hardware.
Right.
That's been around for donkey's years, ever since before I was born. And, that's like you just don't give away. I don't know anyone who sort of gives away all that information because
right. Well, because you want to offer a more convenient option. If you are a manufacturer, you want to have here get what this is made of, or buy it from me because I'd like to make some money on this design I worked on, or even I worked on optimizing the manufacturability or something. There are different levels of how people do it, and it's like you don't want to just be like, here, click this now. I mean, like...
And so these lines have to be drawn somewhere. Like, where do you draw the line? Oh, should you even make a profit on the things?
Right.
No. Well, some people, some purists, in quote marks, might think, oh, no, you have to release all of your production BOM with all your supplier information, and please give us the contact phone numbers of people you dealt with and, and the supplier that you're...
Give us your shipping number.
And the, and the PCB assembler that you're using, so we can also make use of your paste... your stainless steel stencil solder stencil that you bought. And, like, where do you draw the line, right?
Right, yeah.
It's got to be... it's got to be at that base minimum. Usually, it happens at that base minimum. You release enough information so that people can, if they want to, reproduce it themselves.
Yeah.
But you're probably a fool if you give them all that work that you've done.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the business side of things. If you're, if you're a little startup and you're trying to make money out of open source hardware, great, awesome. You're a fool if you give away all your production info.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I think anyway.
I think for the other thing with the BOM is that so on the back end I've had a little more exposure in the past couple of years versus before about just like the actual manufacturability side of things from a like a regular business standpoint, non-open source hardware, but like when you are doing pricing and stuff like that, the price is not dependent on anything other than how bad you need that part. So if that's kind of my other constraint against it. It's like I enjoy working with vendors. I don't mind telling them what parts I'm using and getting support. Obviously, it's in exchange for support and everything like that. But at the same time, if I say yes, I'm definitely using this part right here, there is no chance I'll use anything else. Well, they're going to go tell their purchasing people that, and then when I go to get quotes on it, it's like Chris is buying this part. Well, of course we're going to charge more for it. It's like you know that it's going to happen, right? And why wouldn't they do that? I mean, if I was on that end, of things, if I knew someone was going to use this part and they didn't have any other opportunities to do anything else, they didn't have any backups, or it's how all these vendors are moving to unique footprints, so you're basically at least have a board turn in there.
Yeah.
It's like, man, It's like that. You want me to tell you what my bomb is? Then you go ahead and you make sure that that I have a second source, and I know that you're not doing that for me. So let's just go ahead and say maybe I'll keep a couple cards close to my vest. You know, it's like I love all the people I work with, like vendors and distributors. They're really great people, but it's like, man, there's just like this internal tension that's just like you know, it's just like
It's kind of like liking the people who work in your marketing department, right? You like the people, but you hate marketing. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, and I want to work with them. I want to help them out. I want to give them what they need to sell something.
But then you just want to punch them in the face as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like, well, okay, I want to give you this feature, but I also don't want to stay, you know, every night until midnight to get it done for you because you also attach some ridiculous timeline to it, right? Because it's just, you know, maybe there's not context for that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
oh, boy.
It's just a balance, right? I mean, it's like anything. It's just a balance of, you know, personal relationships and getting stuff done. You know, like there's just that balance point. That's the part of engineering that I never saw coming.
Engineers don't do personal relationships well. Engineers are generally, generically, you know,
I don't know,
pretty
man.
unsocial animals.
I think they're getting better. I think in general, I think the younger generation is just more connected because they have to be, right? Or because they they live on Facebook or whatever. I think that hurts in other ways, right? We've talked about
of course.
about just like the general disparity in technical skill coming out of college in the 70s versus these days, right? I mean, just because not only of the focus, the extreme focus you needed to get through an engineering program like that because, you know, how rigorous it was, but also like the fact that you had to do everything, right? You had to do all the math, right? It was just a much more focused study, I think. And these days you can be a little less focused, more broad.
More stuff.
Right, and you have to be these days because there's more stuff.
There's more technology these days. They have to teach more stuff.
Right, yeah. You might not be learning machine code. You're probably learning C++ or Java or Python.
And then you'll be learning MATLAB, and then you'll be learning, you'll be learning the whole, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much shit to learn these days.
There is a lot to learn these days.
20 years ago, they wouldn't teach you FPGAs. They didn't exist.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't teach you high-definition languages.
Right.
You know, they didn't exist.
Hardware definition languages. That's you.
Hardware.
You said that last time too.
Yeah, I've made that mistake before.
That's okay.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
People know what I mean.
Yeah. HDL. Yeah. There's actually there's a new site about this. So it's actually a nonprofit. It's about programming because it's just become such an essential skill, obviously. But it's kind of a weird sell. So like you go to code.org, right? And then you watch this video and you're like, it's kind of like, all right, we get it. Coding is important, but you don't need to keep throwing it in my face like this. I don't know. Just like I don't know.
I've seen this video. They've got like Bill Gates and they've got Mark Zuckerberg and they've got all sorts of people in there in the highly polished, highly produced video telling you how wonderful it is to learn programming.
Right. And then they have Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm just like, where? I mean, like, all right, so first off, I do respect Will.i.am and the Black Eyed Peas for doing that. They did that STEM concert a while back. And I do respect them for that very, very highly. And
they've been involved with lots of space stuff recently. Lots of NASA projects and stuff like that,
Which is cool. So, but then they quote him and he's like, coders are the new rock stars. That's all there is. And it's come on, really? Come on, really? Are you sure? Did you see Mark Zuckerberg? We just saw him talk, right? It's like, he's rich.
So who's going to be?
Yeah, so we it's like it's good. It's good that Will.i.am is very involved. That is good, but it's like some of this is just kind of I don't know. And the charity is a very good idea too. But I mean, in general,
of course. But who's going to? If the whole world learns programming, who's going to produce the freaking hardware that you're programming?
Well, we are, and then we're going to charge a lot.
Right. Shh, keep it a secret.
Well, I wonder about that.
Secret squirrel for people in the know, Yeah, hardware engineers get paid $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That's the future we want.
Right. I dig it. I dig it. I mean, I think it's just
I've got to pay for my retirement, right? So Sagan,
He's
he might end up in engineering. So he'll end up in the secret squirrel club earning $1 million a year, and it pays for Daddy's retirement.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that stuff ever holds up. Eventually someone's going to write an article with hardware is the best way to make tons of money, and then everybody shifts over there, and then there's a 5-year lag. Software is the best way to make money. It's just like,
well, that happened during the dot-com boom, right? The IT boom. Right, people, you were, and during that boom where you got, your certification, like you got your Microsoft or your Cisco, all those, networking certifications. If you got one of those, right, you were guaranteed a $200,000 a year job at the time.
That much, really?
It was going batshit. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating a tad.
Okay.
But, it just went batshit crazy.
Yes, it did.
And then all of a sudden the whole bottom fell out of the market, and there's all these people going, I switched my career for this, and now I can't even get a $40,000
no one likes
Java.
Job. No one needs a Microsoft certified technician.
Sucked in.
Yeah. And to those people who are listening and getting back into hardware, we congratulate you, because... Come on, hardware.
We salute you.
Hardware rocks. Mm. And actually, so we've been seeing this too. I mean, I don't know if you've been seeing any of the articles, but South by Southwest, which is a festival down in Austin, there's tons of hardware startups down there. Like that's what everybody's writing the articles about this year. And
Yep.
It's
every
cool.
man his dog's doing a bloody startup.
I feel like we should really say there are no real hardware startups, because no one makes just hardware anymore, right? I mean, well, with maybe the exception of there's Touchstone,
few,
right? I mean, because they're actually they're making their end product is chips.
Well, you're talking large scale startups here, right? Not just one midnight engineer in his garage doing an open source hardware product.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I'm talking VC type funded stuff. VCs are funding gadget, Bluetooth, pretty interface on an iPhone kind of thing. That's
got it.
That's what they're all funding these days. And it's like, yeah, okay, I get that. And if you look at, there's other stuff though too. I mean, like there was a, oh shoot, I should have put this article in there. But there was a 3D camera. It's not a camera. It looks like a tablet. It probably is the guts of a tablet. But basically you basically hit record and you walk around something, and basically it has accelerometers in there and some kind of position sensing, probably gyro accelerometer type stuff. And basically it pieces that all together, much like 123D Catch does with actual still images. Yep. This does it in real time.
That's right.
And then it pops out an image, or a 3D model, which is cool. Got it. It's great.
Yeah. No, fine.
But hardware's...
It reminds me of, I think it was Jeremy Blum, who's been on the show before. Mm-hmm. I think he tweeted yesterday that I read. I thought it was funny. He said, if you're coming to me with your startup idea and it starts with, it's like Facebook, but then go away, or something like that. Yep. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. It's like... Oh, boy.
Well, I heard rumor, too, that he might have had a hand in that new MakerBot scanner, too, so I'm not sure if that was public.
He did
Yeah. Oh, it was? Okay.
He did the electronics for it,
cool.
because he's been working for MakerBot. I don't know whether it's full-time or as a contractor for, 12 months or something now.
Right, yeah, because he did that board on the replicator as well, so...
Yep, that's right. So, yeah. So they got him to do the board. I don't know, apart from that, how much he's been involved in it, but yeah, he certainly did do the board.
Seems cool. Definitely. Yep. So, many congrats to Jeremy on his continued success. Of course, he must attribute some of it to being on the Amp Hour, I'm sure.
Of course.
None of his past impressive resume items, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen this code video...
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's worth watching. No, it's worth watching.
Well, it's okay. It's all right. It's worth watching. Yeah, I tweeted it. Yeah. Yeah, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
So, anyway, not that exciting.
Yeah. So, no real segue here, but I was listening to the Economist the other day.
We aren't professional.
I know.
The Economist. You're going back to all your business stuff. You might as well get your bloody MBA.
No.
Yes.
No, but this is good. So they do a technology every quarter. They do a technology section, like a big chunk of the magazine.
Admit it. You love reading about business and 7 habits of highly effective people and shit like that.
I do like that stuff.
You've got MBA written all over you. It's stamped on your forehead.
Maybe I'll do it without an MBA. Maybe I'll just do a thing.
Right. Do it the old-fashioned way, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I tell my friend's going for an MBA, and I'm like, I told him, I'm like, he's real stressed about getting into school and everything. I'm like, why don't you just go work for a startup? And I think unfortunately the answer is a lot of startups want you to have an MBA. Some of them don't, but
Right,
it's like
okay.
this. That would really
Right.
give you context for actually, like at that point, you'd actually be useful going to get an MBA after that, right? You'd be like, oh, well, I definitely need to learn this, and this stuff's crap. And, you can go tell a teacher something, be like, raise your hand, be like, this isn't how it is. Like people that go back to engineering school
Yeah.
like that, too. Like they, that like
Oh, yeah,
triple
I've been there.
integrals
I've done that.
are a thing, but they're not necessarily relevant to everyday life, It's just
Take it from me, they don't like that when you raise your hand and tell them how it works in the real world.
Right.
It's not appreciated.
I bet, yeah. But still, you do it, right?
Oh,
I mean, you
boy.
still got to do it.
Oh, of course, yeah. You can't help yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
at least I can't.
Of course.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this article in the Economist was talking about modeling of RF on airplanes. So basically, how
right,
Wi-Fi is kind of ramping up in airplanes now, and
Yeah, because they're putting. I was on a plane last month where they had an iPad in the back seat.
yeah.
And it's all Wi-Fi.
Right.
It's all Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and a lot of commercial flights around here, you can pay like $8 for like your flight, and get Wi-Fi, get relatively slow Wi-Fi access, and it talks satellite and everything.
Yep. Yep.
But basically, because you're in a big metal tube, right? It's really hard to model that, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was cracking up at this article because apparently, instead of actually hiring people to go and sit in seats, because you'd have to shuffle everybody in, sit them down, do a bunch of measurements, and get sensors everywhere. What they found is that if you get sacks of potatoes, it actually replicates human beings sitting in seats, which is great.
We're all just sacks of potatoes.
We're just sacks of potatoes, yeah.
And I'm sure that's what that's all management think of us as.
Yeah, exactly.
Very Dilbert-like.
Exactly. So they said they had 20,000 pounds of potatoes. They brought them in, slammed them down in seats, and basically they had a 90% plus efficient model of what they referred to as the human bag of brine. We are all bags of brine. So
They draw like little smiley faces on them.
we can only hope. They didn't have that much details, but
Oh, this is great.
oh yeah. So next time you're sitting on an airplane and cursing about
Right.
cursing about your crappy Wi-Fi signal you just paid $12 for, blame Idaho.
Right. and this is for RF absorption.
Right,
Is it?
exactly. Yeah, I mean, because like
Right,
2.4
okay.
gig is pretty absorptive at I think H2O levels, right? I mean, like H2O
It's
absorbs that pretty well.
the resonant frequency of the water molecules in your body is 2.45.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's pretty darn
Yeah.
close.
Right, so you only get what?
I don't know whether or not that makes. I don't think that makes a difference because you either resonate or you don't. So it's kind of So either you're spot on or you're not. I don't
Yeah.
think there's much.
Right.
Leeway there. If anyone knows the physics of
I'm
why,
sure some of our RF
of the
people.
2.4
Yeah.
gig as opposed to 2.45, which they use in the microwave, sure, it's hundreds of watts as opposed to,
Oh yeah. Watts.
many orders of magnitude less than that.
Yeah.
But still, could you get hundreds of watts at 2.4 gig and it would be a problem like 2.45 would? Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Sure,
at
someone
2.4, I mean, you think about like the actual bandwidth you need to, actually take up to go from 2.45 to 2.46. There is a lot of bandwidth in there.
There's a lot of usable stuff you can stick in there.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, different than AM, right, where you're down in the hundreds of
Right,
kilohertz,
yeah.
right? It's just like, oof.
AM, that's amplitude, dude.
I know, but the
talking
AM
FM.
band in the US is I think it's like 600 kilohertz up to
Oh,
like
right,
2
as
megahertz.
in the entire band. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just like AM broadcast, not the AM broadcast band, not the the actual AM is the method of
Right.
encoding, right?
Yes.
You almost got me, Dave.
Someone's got to keep you honest.
Yeah. Well, there was
boy.
another account. So I obviously went through this whole magazine, but there was another article
Yeah, of course
in
you
there about the sharing economy, right? So like Airbnb is a big thing, and there's a couple other there's a lot of companies doing that kind of thing. But I was wondering about it. Like there really doesn't exist for test and measurement gear yet. I mean, do you think that kind of thing would ever actually happen? I mean, for scopes and
I don't think so. I've got a friend of mine did a startup in competition with Airbnb, or kind of,
oh yeah,
sort of in competition. Well, but it failed though.
Oh, okay.
They realised they couldn't actually make any money from it. But
right.
it was kind of sort of in a similar field to Airbnb. But no, in this space for rental test equipment, they're kind of doing this in Australia. There's a startup in Australia. It's been going for a while. It's called like the Shed or something, or the Backyard Shed or something, where you open your tool shed up and you hire stuff that you own out to people, right? And they come around and they borrow it. I'm not sure of the exact mechanism, but it's the same thing, right? Doesn't matter whether it's a power tool or whether it's a scope or something like that. So,
okay.
But I don't think it's taken off, and I don't think it will. People just love owning their own toys, and it's inconvenient, right? It kills your enthusiasm if you have to go and drive somewhere and pay money and pick up a scope to come back and use it and, to work on your project. Your enthusiasm's just died.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, I don't know if it would be for... I guess the real thing would be like
it'd be
mass.
for high-end stuff.
Right,
If
exactly.
anything, it'd be for high-end.
Right.
But there's already companies out there that do that.
Right.
There is. I'm sure there is in the US. But
Yeah,
here
there
in
is.
Australia,
Yeah.
I can go out to a test equipment rental company. I can rent a $50,000 scope for a day for $300 or something.
Right. Yeah. So I guess that would be the main
So,
thing. Is just like the size of the market and everything too, right? So if there's only 50,000 engineers and only 100 of them need a gigahertz 60 gigahertz spectrum analyzer at any time, then
working at companies, I've done that before. I've made extensive use of rental, test equipment rental companies.
Yeah.
We need something for a week, we'll hire it.
Yeah.
And, because, you're trying to get something past management to, you fill out I want to buy this $50,000 scope, trying to get the capital for that is, like extracting teeth.
Right. Yeah,
From a freaking
I guess that's
rhino,
because with like a scope too, it's like you bring it in, you figure out how to do what you need, or maybe they give you some instruction on that kind of thing, and then you do it, right, and then it goes. Versus like I was looking at like rentals for like 3D printers and stuff, and because of the amount of setup time and the consumables and everything, that just didn't really exist yet.
No.
But there were a lot of places that you could send your files to as well, whereas you can't necessarily send your
has more. I don't.
Test data.
No, so if anyone wants to get into the test equipment rental business, it's A, it's already covered, and B, it's a non-starter. People just aren't going to do it. So,
What's the craziest thing you rented?
They're existing company. There's a niche market out there, and the existing companies are already covering it.
Yeah.
So,
What's the craziest piece of equipment you rented? Was it super high bandwidth scope?
no, like mechanical pressure calibrators and stuff like that,
Okay.
which you wouldn't have in
Just stuff.
house.
Okay.
So.
Just stuff that was rare.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a business there.
Some sort of, rare vibration or shock sensor that we didn't have, something like that. You would rent it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's probably a business. It's probably just
And then
boring.
companies, I've probably talked about it before, companies have no problem renting stuff and then they forget about it.
Yeah.
We've rented stuff for years,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And yet, because it goes on a separate set of books to your capital expenditure.
Yeah. Right.
So you can't afford that $50,000 scope, but you can afford $200,000 to rent it for a year. Right?
Yep.
Hey, this is Dilbert land, right?
Yep,
It's real.
Yep. Oh,
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Big corporate.
Speaking of renting things, so Intel has a lot of capital equipment on their books, right? And
You think?
Yeah. They got a shitload. And so they're
No, I thought they were just outsourcing everything.
No, yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people do, right? So Touchstone, right? We interviewed the guys from Touchstone, and they're fabless, right?
yeah.
And they work with foundries, and then there's the model where you're already a big company, you do all your own production, and you do the design and you do the manufacturing, right? And that's like Intel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Intel is now finally jumped into bed with another big vendor because they already had one FPGA vendor that they were working with. I forget who it was. It was like not Ventix. It was something like, some X in the name. It was smaller though. Mnemonics maybe. Is that right? I don't know.
Right.
It was a smaller FPGA vendor, but now they just announced that they're going to be doing a joint partnership with Altera, which is big. That's really big. That's like second biggest in terms of. I think they're. I don't know who's bigger actually these days.
I think they might be second biggest behind Xilinx.
Yeah. Xilinx is pretty big.
Possibly. I don't know.
But let's be honest, folks. There's really only two. I mean, there are more. Sorry, Lattice. Sorry, Micro Semi. But it's like.
No, there's two biggies and everyone knows it.
Yeah. It's probably, it's probably like 45, 35. I'm sure there's probably charts out there for market share, but still, who cares?
There are. I've seen it. Yeah, it's about that.
Right.
It's the others don't even get into 10%. I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
So
and then I think we brought the article up on here. I remember I seen an article about a year or two ago. It was like how every couple of years. Someone writes an article about, this is the number 5 company, and they're like, yeah, and then they showed the record of how poorly number 5 always did, and they just never lasted.
Right?
So,
yeah. That's exactly.
I mean, because like Lattice and Micro Semi used to be Actel. I mean, they both got their niche. So they both do their own thing, and they just kind of keep playing in the same markets. It's interesting to see which ones they all play into, because then they kind of optimize for that stuff too. But so Altera now gets access to Intel process technology.
What? Why? What's that? Well, because they didn't want to expand their fabs, or what?
Well, Altera doesn't have any fabs.
I assume they're fabless.
No, they go with
fabless?
TSMC currently, and I think maybe UMC as well. That's that. I'm pulling that out of my butt. I'm not really sure about that.
Okay.
Definitely TSMC though, and So there's just downsides to that, right? Because Xilinx does the exact same fab. I mean, like, they're processed next to each other. It's not a security thing, I don't think, so much as when you roll your next technology node, then going from 40 nanometer down to 28 nanometer, there is no there is no variable between getting a chip out the door other than how fast you can verify something, right? So you design it and you verify it. That's all. It's all in the brain side of things. You have to just get it all out the door so that then they can go make it. Because everybody gets the same node at the same time, mostly. I mean, preferred customers get it first, I think. But
Altera, they've gone to Intel because they want to use their 14 nanometer stuff.
And that's the thing.
So for their less complex stuff, they're going to stick with TSMC.
Right.
So they're only going to use Intel for their high-end 14 nanometer.
Right.
14 nanometer,
right?
That's like half a bee's dick.
Yeah, not even. It's like an eighth.
Not even half a bee's dick. An eighth of a bee's dick.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. What if Google does like a bee's dick unit conversion?
Half a bee's dick translation, like it does for smoots.
Smoots, that's right.
How many smoots is a bee's dick?
Maybe you can lobby them to get that in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you talk to about getting that put in there? If anyone has a contact at Google who can get bees dicks put into the official
that'd be great.
Measurement units. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So this is interesting though, because I mean, Intel's never done this. They've done it on a small scale, but now Altera is potentially much bigger. And so what you hear though,
geez, small scale, they're jumping. I mean, there's basically very few dies bigger than FPGA dies. Right? They are FPGAs are some of the biggest dies you can get.
Yeah, but
because
followed up by Intel processors, right? I mean, like those things are server architecture CPUs are not small.
No, they're not small, but FPGAs are some of the biggest.
Yeah. I meant small scale, like rollout, like number of times they've done this, and how many wafers they'll roll off the line, that kind of stuff. But the real question there is why they're doing it, because
yield. I mean, the size of the die has everything to do with yield, right? And whether or not it's viable, whether or not it's commercially viable.
Yeah.
Right. The larger the die, the more risk you take that your yield's going to be low.
Yeah, that's true. You have to get a lot more stuff right. All your process variation has to be low across the wafer and everything.
Yep.
But no,
otherwise you mark it as a bad die, and you've just wasted that.
That chunk of expensive
part of the
silicon.
wafer.
Yeah. No, I was saying more from a higher level though. Is like why they're actually doing it. is possibly because Intel's losing, right? I mean, like that's what you see everybody writing about is that, oh well, Intel's kind of finally seeing the light of, oh crap, no one buys regular processors anymore because they're all buying,
So we've got
ARM.
all this unused factory capacity. We may as well.
Yeah, well, this awesome. I mean, they're Intel's some of the best in the world. I mean, like Intel,
of course,
leads.
Yeah, leading
process.
Well, they always have been. Yeah,
yeah.
They always have been one of the leaders in, fab technology. So
yeah. So why not sell it to the highest bidder? Because people should know.
That's what they're in the bloody business for.
If you go to Altera and be like, I want your newest 14 nanometer part, right? It's going to be their biggest part, and you're going to pay through the nose. I mean, this is going to be thousands of dollars for these parts,
Of course.
But they'll be, 14 nanometer, low power, I'm sure, lower power. So
yeah,
it'll be cool.
Man, cosmic rays must be a bitch at 14 nanometers.
I don't know.
Does anyone know?
I don't know.
I mean, geez. I mean, we're getting down to quarter bee sticks, eighth of a bee stick.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Anyway, let's talk about, is it okay
Oh, yeah.
to steal hardware?
Yes. Is it okay, Dave? Is this a... Well, maybe we should define stealing hardware here, right?
Well, we should define stealing. This was an argument. Somebody, sorry, I forget who it was, brought it up on the forum.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome question, and there's been lots of debate over it, in that they were trying to compare, hardware, like, say, an oscilloscope these days, which has all these software options, right? Software upgraded bandwidth and all that sort of stuff. Is it okay to hack that? Is it stealing?
Yeah.
Like, if you download software off the internet and you don't pay for it, I think most of us would be in agreement that that's stealing, right? If you download software off the internet,
yep.
If you download a CAD program off the internet and you get a license key generator and you run it and you get that software for free, then that is stealing, right? You're depriving the company of that revenue.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if you
that's
think
our
about
baseline,
it,
right?
They hire based on those, revenues and everything. Like they say, well, if we're going to, sell 1,000 programs this year, we can hire 2 new programmers, and so.
Now, my contention is that it is different for hardware, because if I buy an oscilloscope, then I have entered into a legal financial agreement with that company. I have purchased the goods, and they become mine. And I can do anything I damn well want with them. And if you're stupid enough as a hardware company to try and hide stuff in there that I now have legal ownership of, I've paid you my money, and you want to hide stuff in there, don't complain if I find a way to access it. That's your risk. You took that risk. You have the option. You had, unlike software, right? Software companies do not have an option to do this, but hardware companies do. They have an option not to hide that stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I think it's fair game. I think when you purchase something, like hardware, money's changed hands, it's yours. You should have the legal right to hack it.
See,
and I'm not alone in this respect. In the consumer market, like there's, now there's huge fights in the industry. Should you be allowed to jailbreak your phone?
Right. Yeah.
Right? You've purchased your phone. You've paid $1,000 for your phone. Should I be allowed to do? I own it. Should I be allowed to do anything you like?
Right.
I'm in total agreement that you should.
The White House actually. They were
it
asked
did.
To
yeah, it
comment
was
on
huge.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been thinking about this.
What was the White House's comment on that?
They came down on the side that you should be able to unlock the phones, as far as I know. I mean, I've only read a little bit about it.
Right.
But,
yeah, I don't. Right.
It's phones. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it does. It
so
could
I
have
think
implications.
There's two separate
here, right?
arguments there.
It could affect. People could take that as a logical extension, right? If you can't unlock your phone, then why can't you? Then you can't unlock your oscilloscope or whatever else, right?
Well, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. You've purchased it. The thing with hardware is you've purchased it. It's yours. It's a physical item.
Yeah, you'd think the easy way around this would be you have to put the piece of
software
on there, right? If you really want to catch people in the act, right? then you make a piece of hardware, you encrypt a key, an internal key and an external key, and then you have to download something to it in order to unlock.
Buy a physical plug-in module.
Right.
Buy a physical plug-in module to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if at that point that is the point of stealing
companies.
and that is the point of criminal entry, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's it is semantics, right? I mean, because it either way you could say it denies the company of revenue, but on the other hand, it's like, well, I mean, I see where the contention comes from.
The thing with hardware, you're not denying the company. Well, you've already given the company revenue, right? You're keeping that company employed. You're buying their product, and you're buying a physical item. Money has changed hands. That's different to software. Flat out software piracy, where you haven't given a cent to the company and you've, a lot of people want to try and muddy the waters and go, well, okay, I've bought a CAD program, and then they charge you options for the, they charge you extra to get, unlimited pin count instead of 10,000. Right. It's a different matter. It's a different argument. I take them each on their merits. I think with hardware, yes, if I buy it, hand over my money, it's mine. Tough titties. Don't complain if I find a way to hack your oscilloscope.
Yeah. I think it's,
if you
so
were
we were
dumb
talking
enough
about
to hide it in
like
there.
The demand level, right? At the beginning of the show with the bombs and stuff like that. I think that's probably what I'd go back to here, right? I mean, like, you're basically buying everything at once, right? If you're buying a scope that has internal features that are, unlockable that you then find, you were no longer a captive audience because you know how to unlock them. I guess that would be the way I'd look at it. I don't know. It's
and that's the risk the company takes by making the conscious, unforced decision to include and hide those features in a hardware product.
Yeah. Now, what you could probably do is if say someone made a YouTube video about how to unlock a Rigol oscilloscope. You could probably go after that person, for like revealing trade secrets or something. I don't know, but at the same time, like,
you could, but they didn't.
They didn't. You're right. And
in fact, they continue to.
They probably sold more scopes that way. To be honest,
I know for a fact they sold more
exactly. I mean, like
scopes. So it was good for the company,
right? Yeah, and so you have to. I mean, like that.
Yes.
You have to look at that as a. How much did they gain from that versus how much did they lose? It's like, well, if it was just another scope, then no one would have bought it. I got a Rigol. I enjoy it, and I didn't hack it. I didn't. No one lost out in my case. I bought it and said I was going to, and then I'm like, I don't need this yet. So whatever.
In the case of there are some cases like that. I won't say it's the case of Rigol, but some companies will actually lie to you. They will lie that, oh no, trust me, when we sell you the 100 megahertz version, or we sell you the 1 gigahertz version, it's physically different when it's actually not.
Right.
So that takes it to another level again when a company will lie to you.
Yeah.
But no, I know for a fact, and I mentioned this on the forum, I won't name names, but there are more than one hardware company has said to me that they accept the fact that people will hack their products. Yeah. That is the risk they take.
Yeah. And it's a lock thing, right? It's like, locks aren't there to stop criminals; they're there to stop trustworthy people, right? I mean, if you want to make that comparison, because I don't think that people that hack are criminals necessarily. And
the people that hack it are never going to buy your, $10,000 oscilloscope anyway. They just can't afford it.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yet the reason that might entice them to buy your lower end product is because they can hack it. So this is where you're actually getting sales where you wouldn't have got them before.
Right, exactly.
That's where there's actually, like we said with Rigol, they actually made a killing selling these scopes because the hack was revealed.
Right. Yeah, it's
that's sales they wouldn't have gotten before.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I mean
Yeah, I know. It's a
whole level of
muddy,
economics that I don't understand at all. I should go get an MBA.
And it's hard to get real numbers on it, but no. I think think it's my right. If I pay money for a product, it's mine, and in the privacy of my own home or lab, I can do anything I damn well like with it.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. And it's it takes, as soon as you start doing other things, it might take a turn. Like if you started modifying from other people, then maybe if you made a business out of that.
Oh no, that's different. If you made a business, right? And you reverse engineered all their software and released the source code, that's all that's a red herring. Let's not.
No, I agree. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That you could take small steps away from it, but at the base of it, I do agree that if I buy a piece of hardware, it is mine. I am allowed to do whatever I want with it because that's how it works. I mean, like
and if you attempt to hide something in there, well, that's your risk.
Yeah, I agree.
Excellent.
All right,
we agree on something.
One thing we have,
except for the chip printing machine, which is never going to happen.
Yeah. We should talk. So here's the thing. We have the 2013 survey coming up. I'm going to put that out soon after the show.
The Amp Hour survey.
The Amp Hour listener survey for 2013. Actually, I'm going to post it with the show. So if people can fill that out, that is great. So how is this related to chip printers?
Because it helps us because if you could fill it out, because then we have data to give to potential advertisers here. It's a purely selfish thing on our part.
Right.
Apart from it's interesting stuff to know who actually listens. Yeah. But no, it's so that we have data to give to potential advertisers and sponsors, which will ultimately help the show go if we can actually find a way to make money from it.
Right, exactly. And in the meantime...
So we don't disappear.
Right,
so Chris goes, I'm not making any money from this. I'm not going to do it anymore.
No. Come on, man.
Right.
No, but the other nice thing is that, so because people have, been very, they've interacted with our advertisers and we've made money from it and everything, we are going to give back. And one of the things is, so from this survey, there's going to be a contest at the end, and you'll be able to put in your email. If you're interested, you don't have to do it. You can put in your email, put in your name. We'll put them all into a drawing. And so the Amp Hour is going to have T-shirts. Finally.
No.
Yes.
Have we even decided on design yet? I haven't seen it.
We have not, but we get some time. So we're gonna wait at least 2 weeks for the survey's results to come back in, because we know some people listen later. And so we can, we got some time on the T-shirt stuff, and that's actually, so the chip printer thing was working into might be on a T-shirt. Well, we don't know yet, but...
What, a T-shirt, walk around, I own a chip printer.
No, I was thinking, I want to believe.
A chip printer, I want to believe.
Exactly,
yeah. Nice.
So I have something like that. And
so if anyone's got any great slogans, please leave them in the comments. We would love to have T-shirt slogans. Yeah. And if there's any good ones, we'll get them printed.
Yeah. And so the other thing is, we're going to have a web shop too. So if people are interested after the fact, then we'll leave the T-shirts up there, and we'll have more contests throughout the year and stuff. So kind of the idea is kind of do it like Car Talk, how they have the Shameless Commerce division. That'll be kind of like our Car Talk Shameless Commerce division. But yeah.
And who's doing the T-shirts? Is it going to be through Printfection?
Yes, it will, because then they can ship them for us.
Right.
Then we don't have to do anything.
And we'll get a reasonable cut out of those, as opposed to Zazzle, where you only get like 10% or something.
Right,
it's pretty lame.
Right. Yep. So that'll be...
And that money goes into the coffers to help us pay for...
more T-shirts.
Server space.
And servers and everything else.
Bandwidth and more T-shirts.
Yep. Yeah. And it just keeps building.
Yep.
What else should we talk about? We are almost out of time for the week, but...
we are.
What else do we have here? So speaking
Cree's
of...
making light bulbs, who cares?
If there's if there are U.S. listeners, I think there might be one or two. We talked about it in the past about a patent troll who's going after podcasters. Yeah, right. There actually is a thing. This guy's going after podcasters, but there is a Shield Act. If you're into that, I don't think they'd ever come after us. We're kind of small potatoes compared to like Adam Carolla and everything. But if you're in the U.S. and you want to read this Shield Act and you want to call your senator, that could potentially help us someday. So that's a thing.
One part of me wishes that they did, just so that we can
go after
tell them
us.
To stick it.
Oh, well, the Electronic Frontier Foundation is actually helping support this act and actually trying to reform patent stuff, because Patents suck, man. I've been reading patents lately. I've been interested in this one technology and reading patents, and I'm just like, I can't believe there are so many resources devoted to this. Honestly, like it is unbelievable. It is just it's. I mean, like some of it's good.
I support patents for genuinely innovative. Really, really freaking genius, innovative stuff.
It's a tough way to draw that line, though, too,
garbage.
right? I mean,
it's 99% is 99.9%. Yeah, it's hard to draw the line, but it's got to be like 99.9% at least that are just garbage and unworthy.
Yeah,
has to be at least that percentage.
Yeah, I mean, and reading through them is just mind-numbing. I don't know how patent attorneys do it. To be honest, like
my brother-in-law's a patent attorney. Yeah.
We might have to have him on sometime to ask him about it, just by... I mean, and I'm sure it's different between Australia and the States, too. I mean, like, I'm sure there's a lot of similarities, but...
Probably, yeah.
I know a guy that's a patent... what's that, a grantor? Not the patent...
patent examiner.
That's it, yes. Thank you. And, hearing stories about that stuff, and, like... Oh, it just sounds terrible. And it's just how many people they have to do. I mean, I think an examiner only does like 30 to 50 patents a year. And because, they have to go through all the...
Is that all?
Yeah, it's not much. So you think about how many they need, right? You need a lot of examiners.
How many people would they need?
Right. I mean, and so
that's ridiculous.
A lot of costs
and most of them know jack shit, right? Most of them know jack shit about what they're doing, really.
Yeah.
That's why you see all these patents granted, and you go, if you were in the industry, you would know that 10 million people have already done that.
Yeah, but...
were we talking about that? All they do is search freaking Google, right?
Yeah, but who was... I was talking to someone about that.
I don't know.
God, too many podcasts. But basically, the patent examiner is not... They're not meant to... They don't have to know about the... they are basically just looking up the claims and making sure that those are valid against prior art and everything. Was that you telling me that? I don't know.
I don't know. It probably wasn't me. But prior art includes knowledge of the industry and that ever-present, elephant in the room that it's not that the patent should not be obvious to any practitioner in the field.
No, but that's the thing. They don't have to do. No, I think it was my friend told me this. They don't have to do that, right?
Oh,
they rely on the legal system.
That's only for defense, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's right. They rely right. So to grant it, there's no. Yep.
Yeah. So basically,
they
just
don't
say,
care if it's obvious.
This is written okay, and move along. See you in court. You know, like don't support lawyers, folks. Don't feed the trolls.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's a analog design contest, is there, from TI?
Yes, and I said this wrong last time, and Larissa from TI was laughing at me about this, but the Engibus.
That's how I would pronounce it, Engibus.
I think it's someone's name, though.
What a ridiculous word.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's someone's name. I think. But yeah, we've seen this in the past. There's actually been, and this is actually the analog design contest. I think it's a chip-based analog design contest. I should probably look at this, huh?
You should.
Yeah.
You put it on here.
I did. Yeah. Well, I thought I knew it from last year, and now I'm kind of second guessing myself. Oh no, I was wrong. Okay, yeah. So it is board level. I'm sorry, but you have to be in school to do this too. So that's the other thing. So they'll give you, they'll give you like free samples and everything and support, and you can win $10,000 and everything. But
all right,
there's been some cool projects that have come out of it. I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, last year I think there's usually like energy type stuff and measurement and a lot of TI, a lot of precision stuff usually. So.
I've been toying with the idea of foolishly starting up a design contest.
Oh, I believe I should quote a friend of mine who says,
you should.
doing design contests is a whole lot of work, and I would agree.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it might be fun.
I will do a snarky judging video for you. It is a repayment for the 555 contest. I'll do it where it's only people from Cleveland, and I'll give them a prize, which is sitting in my basement already.
The Cleveland prize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Visit tour of Chris Gamble's basement.
Exactly. I'll cut him something on my CNC mill or something. That'll be the prize. Make you a little medal. It's like all mangled, and get a video of the winner just weeping over their crappy prize.
Oh boy. I saw your video of where you were milling out a little 1-inch pocket.
Yes, I finally started cutting metal, and it's exciting.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, your video was like, I put a comment on there, dude. Like, your video was like 5 foot back from the thing, and zoom in on it. Like, I want to see the action down at the drill bit.
Yep.
Instead, it's just a couple of pixels going.
Yeah, it actually didn't happen. It was all CGI. Crappy CGI. Oh well.
Oh boy.
Actually, so one last thing. Speaking of close up, this is a cool site I saw this week. It's actually another site showing the guts. I think I saw this on Hacker News, but we've seen this kind of stuff before.
Hacker News.
Hacker News. Yeah. News.ycombinator.com or whatever.
Right.
But basically, they were decapping a bunch of ICs. And, it's always fun to look at that kind of stuff, especially looking at the different, the different generations of geometry and stuff. And, even just analog versus digital kind of stuff.
No, absolutely. It's fascinating. Even my wife likes looking at that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's cool as hell. So, definitely check that out. It's zeptobars.ru.
She goes, oh, look, it's a little city. Oh, isn't it cute?
That's right. Just like in Tron, man.
Look at all the little roads in there. There's a little building.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to watch Tron right now.
Right.
This is your punishment. All right, well, people should fill out the survey, and you can go in the running for the inaugural Amp Hour T-shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.